I'm Mr. Munoz. I am from small town Kansas, so I went to high school in Garden City, Kansas, and it's a small town feel, but it was a great connection to who I was, and that's why I wanted to stay in Kansas. So I went to the University of Kansas, did my undergrad there, majored in Spanish and business, so was able to take Spanish and incorporate it into the business world as well. And I was involved in campus ministry as well as in Greek life. My freshman year, I was all about being an architect and jumped in, had studio classes. After my freshman year, I realized that I did not want to live in a cubicle, sleeping night and day, being an architect. And it was after my freshman year that I was like, this is not what I want for my life. And just kind of after that year, changed degrees. And it was good because it was eye-opening for me my freshman year to be like, okay, I'm in this degree and I can stay in it if I'd like to, but at the same time it was like it's not something that I'm passionate about. And it was after my freshman year that I changed, which was a really good thing because I still value what I learned in the architect program, but transitioned into something different. All you guys talked about adding in stuff, right? So I think you also in college are able to really get involved in things that you like, for example, campus ministry or sports or Greek life or whatever that is. And I think it's a great time for you to learn, like, what can I say no to? And you kind of realize that when you're in college, like, hey, when in this time, your first calling is to be a student, right? And if you're spending 40 hours in this organization and you're only spending 20 hours in school, you can start seeing your grades slip and being careful with what you add. You know, social life as well. Like it's fun, right? It's awesome to go to college and you get to do stuff that you didn't do when you were under your parents' roof. But at the same time, like that can also slide into a slippery slope where your grades are falling and you're not doing so well. So being careful of what you add in and how much you're spending on those things that you do add in. I can speak on this a little bit. So going to KU, first day of biology, I was in a class of 1,000 students. It's a lecture hall, and so there's 2 stories. You see your professor down at, I sat in the balcony. They were down. There's 3 screens, and so from that perspective, like my professor was not approachable. Like it was just like there was one of him and 1,000 of us, and they had TAs, and you would be assigned a TA. But in terms of like making that connection, I was the one that had to go into his office and be like, hey, my name is Carlos, I'm a freshman, I want to do good in this class, and kind of like put myself in front of him. So and I know he doesn't know my name and he would probably not recognize me if he saw me on the street, but to make that first connection, and he would refer me to my TA, which was good because he was the one that was going to be interacting with me for the most part. So I would say it definitely takes you to go into your professor, because some of the professors have lecture classes that big or have maybe 20 or 30 grad students that they're working under. So you might not be their first priority unless you make that first priority. You make them that first priority. So I would say definitely go and meet with every one of them. Yeah. So for me, I think the biggest advice was finding that group of friends that is going to keep you accountable. Not only, yes, I'm in pastoral ministries here, but yes, in your faith as well. But along with going to class, if I didn't have those friends that were like, hey, dude, you're missing class 2 days in a row, like you're really gonna fail that class. So somebody that was able to call me out, and it was somebody that I met, through the Greek life, and whatever that, it doesn't have to be Greek life. It can be somebody in your dorm. It could be, the Catholic Center on campus. It could be your Bible group, Bible study group, whatever you form, to really find those groups, that group of friends that is going to call you out when you need to be called out. If it's academics, if it's, you're struggling and you're partying too much or whatever, that avenue you're going down, to really have that group of friends that is going to keep you accountable and at the end, like, form who you're going to be in the future, because college is a big preparation of who you're going to be as an adult as well.